Basically. I can hear myself. Yes. Is he casting too, or is it just me? You are? Sweet. It's best of 5, right? For each game.
Ace Condor 2111.
Is Noodle still on the team?
No. Capital A and then CE. Hello and welcome to the ODU Twitch stream for Rocket League against Wake Forest. I am Ace Condor 211, aka J-Rob, and
I am Benjamin Draper.
And we're going to be casting the best of 5 game today against Wake Forest. All people should be in the lobby, so we should be going live soon. So stay tuned for a really good game. And here we are picking up in game one. A little bit late after the kickoff, but currently ODU with a little bit of control on the ball. It is on their side of the field, so they're going to try and be more in an offensive position right now going through the midfield.
And you can see the aerials being hit there at midfield, and you can see Kuro is going to go up and try to hit on the wall and make their way down the right side. And he's a little bit of technical difficulties.
A little bit of freezing on the stream at the moment, but currently all is well. ODU still with offensive pressure, trying to go for some 50s, trying to make the opportunity there. GoGod trying to get the pass middle, but it is deflected out by Creeds from Wake Forest. I see right now ODU just trying to keep that pressure on their side of the field.
And Kuro did get that shot on the net, but it was saved by the Wake Forest defenders. So early on, the Monarchs do get some early pressure there on the net.
Creed being able to challenge just Dan in the air. Dan trying to go for a little bit more of a mechanical play, trying to go for an aerial 50, trying to work it onto Wake Forest's side, but right now Wake Forest is starting to make the offensive pressure. Takes a shot on net. Dan just able to get to it out of the top left corner, with Creed trying to settle it back down and trying to keep it on ODU's end.
A little bit of pressure here for Wake Forest, but you can see Old Dominion has control of it, and you can see Kuro is going to hit it upfield for his team. And GoDan.
GoGod almost being
GoGod, my mistake.
Yeah, GoGod almost being able to come through with the pass against with Kuro. Trying to leave it down for him. Kuro trying to just 50 it out right now. Drops it mid, which is a little bit dangerous. Dan coming through with the follow through. Able to keep them from getting pressure. Dan with the pass center. GoGod with the shot, but a little bit difficult. Wake Forest was there to stop it from going in the net.
And you can see that the pressure going on for Wake Forest, trying to get the shot there, but Kuro is there with the save as he will prevail the shot going in the net, and it is still 0-0 with 3:15 left to play here. But Wake Forest still getting the center there, trying to get a shot on net, but that won't be the case as Old Dominion will clear it. But it seems Wake Forest, and there's the clear right there, but Wake Forest will hit it right back. And they're just maintaining a little bit of pressure here in his first 2 minutes of this game.
Yeah, Wake Forest right now trying to keep a lot of offensive pressure on ODU. ODU kind of more on the back foot right now, trying to take the boost, trying to get it flicked over. Creed's not falling for the fake. Now ODU's going to be on the back foot on defense. Creed trying to set up a corner pass for his teammates in the middle. And it looks like GoGod's going to try and take some control of it and try and get it out of his half.
And Justin got the demolition right there. So a little bit of advantage there for Wake Forest as you're going to try to center it. And the shot's going to be on the net. He'll get the second chance, but a big save there from GoGod. It won't be credited to him, but he still makes the big save to maintain the 0-0 tie. And Kuro there with another save, an epic save in that case. And Old Dominion maintaining their defense here with that pressure from Wake Forest.
Yeah, Wake Forest right now is applying very solid offensive pressure, trying to set up passes for the midfield. As you see, Kuro able to get it back, trying to go for the 50. GoGod with a pass middle. Oh, it's an amazing redirect. Almost gotten it on top left corner. The placement on that just a little bit too high. But ODU starting to put the shots on and trying to add the pressure to Wake Forest.
Got 2 minutes left to play here, and you can see ODU trying to maintain the pressure there, but Malone for Wake Forest is going to hit it up the right side and try to get a center there, but Justin is there with the defense to clear it up for ODU, and they're going to make another push with 1:48 left to play here.
I see Kuro almost with a nice mid pass, overshoots the goal a little bit, trying to make the opportunity out there for GoGod as Kuro cuts right back down, trying to keep that offensive pressure for ODU and trying to get Wake Forest to break on their defensive end, almost trying to get them confused. But Dan with a little bit of a lost challenge leads GoGod one back. And currently, it looks like Wake Forest is going to have the offensive pressure back again.
And Old Dominion is really low on the boost right now. You can see GoGod finally got a full boost, but this Old Dominion team has been very low on boost in the last few seconds of this match, and that's at their disadvantage as they're trying to get a goal here late in this match. And the center right there, oh, the chance from Kuro. But it goes wide.
Yeah, Kuro trying to go out the sidewall, trying to air roll back into the ball to knock it middle. Almost getting the shot on as GoGod now on the defensive end, trying to go for a pinch. Doesn't get the pinch that he wants, but still keeping control of the ball. Going for a 50 with Creeds. Goes right middle. Kuro with the shot. It's post. Cone.
Oh my
almost
goodness.
With the follow-up. Goes off the post. Dan passes it out from corner, but now Kuro back last on defense. Going to have to start that offensive pressure all over again. But GoGod's up.
Little up, but he's still going to get the center there. He's going to try to get the center, and it'll be defended by Wake Forest. But Justin trying to get there, and he's not going to be able to do so as Wake Forest has got it into the ODU zone. And you see the demolition there. The shot's on net, and there's a goal for Wake Forest. And with 32 seconds left to play here, Wake Forest strikes first in this game. And it seemed that this game was going to have a winner right before overtime, and Wake Forest was able to capitalize on that shot and take advantage of the demolition there.
Yeah, just a small defensive mistake from GoGod. Just tried to knock it out, tried to get a nice little pinch out middle, or at least off of their side of the field, and unfortunately it just went right out to the defender, and they took advantage and didn't last.
25 seconds left to play here. Kuro's going to try to do something left side, try to get upfield, and he's going to get the shot back on there, but he'll get credit with the shot, but it's a slow shot, and it'll be easily defended by the Wake Forest defender So 15 seconds left to play for Old Dominion. They are in dire need of a goal if they want to take it to OT here in game 1 of this matchup.
As right now with 5 seconds left, ODU really needs something to get a really good connection right here. That is not going to help them.
Ball cannot touch the
ball
ground.
is still up. But it's going to touch down, and that's going to be game 1 going to Wake Forest. I'd say overall, very solid play from both teams. Neither really showed any weaknesses, but just on that last rotation out in defense, they were able to take advantage of the demolition. Got small little touch, and it just resulted in it going.
Yeah, and Kuro was a big factor in that game because he had the 5 shots on net and maintaining the pressure for Old Dominion while getting the 3 saves as well. But you have to credit Just Dan as well because he had 2 saves in the match that were pivotal to keep this at a 1-0 deficit. It could have gone either way, but Wake Forest was able to capitalize on their opportunity when it was presented.
Yeah, their placement on defense could not be knocked. I say whenever we try to take a shot on goal, you had to aim for post to post, and unfortunately we just hit too much of the post and couldn't come back and get the shot.
So it looks like we're getting ready for game number 2 here as teams will get set in this lobby. What are you hoping to see out of this Old Dominion team after that game 1 effort? What do you think they can improve on from the game 1?
I'm going to say I really think ODU is going to be able to come back on this one. I say they figured out what their mistakes that they're going to make, and I think they're going to fix that and come home with
a little bit of a slow start, basically.
Yeah.
So Kuro with the advantage here. He's going to get a little shot off the wall. It's going to go a little wide, but Wake Forest is able to defend it as it'll be in the left corner of their zone. And you can see Creed and you can see GoGod actually leaving it there. And Kuro is going to try to get a center off the left side, but it's going to be there in the air. And the aerial shot from GoGod, but it is saved by the Wake Forest defender as ODU getting a little bit of pressure early on in this game.
Yep, Dan trying to take a little bit more central control on the ball, trying to go for more of an aerial play, one-on-one against the defenders, but just wasn't able to get a pass. And UTS really just kind of keeping control of the ball for them, where it's Akira taking over.
And Old Dominion has the advantage in boost right now. Wake Forest is very low with 2 of their members. And you can see Old Dominion trying to take that advantage, and they're still going to have to fight in their zone. But you can see the plays being made as Kuro's going to try to get an aerial. There's a shot from GoGod. Oh, my goodness.
GoGod almost with the perfect placement, just a little bit too much of the crossbar. I say Evan Kuro just with a great fake almost set up an easy 1 goal for ODU.
And Wake Forest had to bounce off the roof shot right there, trying to get an aerial goal. And Old Dominion, there's a shot. Oh, but a missed opportunity by Kuro. But shots going both ways as both teams are maintaining offensive pressure and trying to strike that first goal early on in this game.
Kuro once again with another shot middle. GoGod with the redirect off the wall. The demo from Kuro leaves it in a 1v1 situation. GoGod with the shot. It might be a little bit too high. Oh. It's crossbar again. Dan with the follow-up.
Oh my goodness. Again. They're just hitting the post left and right.
The placement is almost there. ODU just needs to connect on it. GoGod with pass middle.
Dan's going to have a shot, but it's going to be saved.
Dan trying to make the opportunity. GoGod trying to pass it middle.
It's
open. And Dan's there for the goal.
Big goal.
I see that's a massive break in their defense right there. See, Dan was just sitting waiting for Akira to get the clear, but when he doesn't make contact, Dan's just in the perfect spot to take advantage, and it's 1-0 for
And
ODU.
he took advantage of that position like you mentioned, and it had to happen one way or another. Old Dominion was knocking on the door that entire time with offensive pressure and getting the shots off the post multiple times, plus the crossbar. It just seems like Old Dominion has found a rhythm here on offense.
So normally the starts are a little bit slower, but they're going to start picking it up now. Evan with the aerial goal. Open net.
Oh my goodness.
Kuro versus the world. You couldn't say that more. And what a critical demo or bump from GoGod. Took him right out of the play. And just gave Kuro an open net, making it 2-0.
And he takes it from the aerial and he drops it down in the net as nobody was there to defend it. And it is 2-0 with 2:02 already gone by in game 2 here.
So Dan middle with no boost. Needs to start getting a little bit of pads to get buttered up a little bit. Kuro with an up pass, but looks like he's going to take a little bit more of single control here. Trying to get a center pass for Goat.
And you can see the defense being very well on the Old Dominion side, as you can see Just Dan will actually hit it over to the opposite end. But Wake Forest is going to try to make a push, but Old Dominion will maintain that pressure in the offensive zone as Kuro hits the aerial and he gets the demolition. They have the advantage right now. And GoGod, another demolition from GoGod, and it will be centered. Can Old Dominion capitalize? Off the post again! Oh my goodness! But ODU will maintain pressure as Kuro will have a shot. He'll try to aerial, but it won't work as it'll be deflected off from the Wake Forest defender.
Yeah, right now the offensive pressure from ODU is immense with the demos right now, trying to get the bumps, opening up the opportunity once again, and Dan with a snipe middle for making it a 3-0 lead. Look at GoatGod right here off the wall, tries to go for the bump, makes him have to jump late, and just leaves him in a vulnerable position.
And the Wake Forest goalkeeper there was not in a bad position. It was just a good goal from Dan there, and that is going to put Old Dominion up 3-0 in this match as they have a decisive lead, as they're going to possibly look for a tie here in this series in the best of 5.
It's like a GoatGod with a mechanical play. Gets the flip reset. Gets a touch. Almost with a goal. Curl trying to come through with a follow through. Just was a little bit too late. Dan now knocking it middle. Goes off your 3S. GoatGod going to try and go for the redirect. Doesn't get the touch. Leaving the goal open, but Kuro is back to take advantage of it.
Demolitions are so pivotal in this game so far because Old Dominion is capitalizing off the advantage of the man down. You can see Curl with the shot there, but it's defended by the Wake Forest defender. And you can see maintaining the pressure on the right side, but Wake Forest is going to take it out to midfield, and it'll be still at midfield as I have a shot there, but Dan is there with the save, as it's a nice aerial save from him, maintaining the shutout with 120 left to go.
Yeah, say the demos can come through very clutch, especially in higher rated Rocket League, because everything is so close offensive and defensively that you have to leave every opening that you can. But GoatGod just taking advantage of the single opening, making it 4-0.
Everything is working for Old Dominion right now as they have capitalized on all their shots. They've hit the post many times in this game. This game could be easily 7-0 right now, but the post has been a nightmare for this ODU team, and they have a decisive lead here.
As we know, they just got to take their time, hold the lead. No real need to score right now. You only have a minute left, so they take the time, just take the game win, and just force it into hopefully only going to game 4. But we might see a game 5 situation here.
All is possible. Old Dominion looking very good on the offensive side here, as Wake Forest is having a little bit of a rhythm offensively, but you can see the defense there for Old Dominion. There's another shot from Wake Forest, but it'll be defended as well. 40 seconds left to play here as Old Dominion with a 4-0 lead. And they're just playing defensive, as you mentioned, to close this one out and go to a game 3 here.
And Wake Forest trying to set up for an open pass. Once again, they just like ODU, just knocking a little bit too high, lowering it down a little bit, and they would have had the shot on. But right now, it's all ODU's game to lose.
So with 20 seconds left to play in the defensive zone for Wake Forest, they're going to try to hit it out to midfield. Kuro is not going to be able to defend it, but GoatGod is there, and he'll hit it right back. He might have an open net as he'll go for the aerial.
The aerial bump.
Oh my goodness!
Aerial bump, making it 5-0. This is a more of a traditional 1v1 play. I say GoatGod realizing the situation in a 1v1, able to get the aerial bump, and it's just an easy goal for ODU.
That was a great goal from GoatGod as he seals the deal here for Old Dominion, as they have been with all the offensive pressure in this game too. Everything has been going their way.
Currently, ODU cannot do any wrong. I say everything they're touching at the moment is just falling in the place where it needs to be, and the shots are just trying to get them out of their defensive rotation. That's going to be ODU's game.
That was a great game from the Monarchs there. GoatGod leading the way with the 7 centered balls.
I see. Wake Forest definitely taking game 1. They're playing very solid, able to hold up their defensive end and take advantage of our mistakes. But I say in that game, I didn't see really any mistakes out of ODU. They were taking advantage of theirs.
There was no mistakes in game 1. It was all about who's gonna score that first goal. And obviously, when Old Dominion had many chances in that first game, they hit the post multiple times, like we saw in game 2 as well. But when Wake Forest found the opening where they got the demolition there and got the opening to get it on the goal, and they secured the goal, but it could have been anyone's game in game 1, but with game 2, it was really decisive in Old Dominion's favor. It was a little bit even in the first 30 seconds to like a minute, but other than that, Old Dominion took advantage, and they were able to maintain all the pressure, get all the demolitions, and get all those shots on net that presented them with the 5 goals.
I say right now, going through this series, it looks like demolitions are going to be a massive key part to this game. So we're probably going to see more and more of those as we go through the series.
I'm excited for them because demolitions are pivotal, like you mentioned. They're really good in the high-end situations, and we got to see what's going to happen here because Wake Forest, they're not an easy team to play. They're a pretty tough team to compete with. So a 1-1 tie here for Old Dominion. They got to be feeling good about themselves going into this game 3 and possibly taking advantage of this game and getting a 2-1 advantage in this series.
Yeah, so right now ODU definitely has the momentum. I see there's nothing going to be holding them back for most of this game. So, I mean, going from a 5-0 victory, they got to be feeling themselves.
But don't look ahead of yourselves. Don't try to be too cocky about it. Just make sure that you maintain the game plan and make sure that you're just doing what you can do to and we're back into things. But like I was mentioning, just make sure that you are maintaining the game plan and being able to do what you can do and not overextend and do things that you're not really similar to doing.
Mm-hmm. Got to keep a cool head under your shoulders. Can't get too ahead of yourself because any mistakes can result in a negative goal. Dan with a nice 50. Putting it on the back wall for Creed. Putting in a little bit of an awkward situation. Gokak going to try and take a little bit of control here. Looks like he's looking for a center pass.
He's
no boost though. But Evans there with the fake. Dan trying with a late shot, but now we're going to be on the defensive end. Gokak does need to make a touch here and try to keep him in control for ODU.
He'll be credited with that save, so going from end to end in the sheer seconds, but Old Dominion maintaining a little bit of pressure on their defense here. But Wake Forest trying to get a center there, and Seeds will keep it in the zone as it'll bounce off the wall. Trying to go for an aerial, but it'll be defended by for Old Dominion. And Wake Forest has all the momentum at the moment here as they're just maintaining the ball in the ODU zone. But you can see ODU is getting up the field as Pearl is going to hit it up left side, and he's going to miss the second hit. But Gokad or Justin is going to hit it up and try to get a center going for them in the front. And there would be a bounce there, and there would be a shot, and it would be a score from Curl as he capitalizes on the bump from Justin. And it is an open net as Old Dominion takes the lead 1-0 with 3:46 left to play.
Yeah, Dan with a very good mechanical play, able to keep really good control of the ball, sticking the nose right to the ball, carries it across, 2 defenders, bumps on the last, easy goal for Curl.
So let's see what Old Dominion can do here to try to maintain this 1-0 advantage and possibly extend this to a 2-0 advantage. But Wake Forest has had a couple of chances early on in this game. They've had their chances at the center. They just haven't been able to get a shot on net. But let's see what Old Dominion can do here. They have it in offensive zone, and Goatgod's going to have a center there. Maybe a little high. The aerial from Curl, but oh my gosh.
What a shot. All right, look at the pass from Goatgod right here. Reads the hit, goes for the 50, able to get it just across the net, hits the top of the bar, and Curl centering the car right on the net. Just a nice little
goal.
down tap. Able to make it 2-0.
That was a great aerial shot from Curl. He was in the right place at the right moment, and he had the right angle. Those angles are pretty hard to hit if you're not familiar with Rocket League. And Goatgod with a phenomenal pass there. And the shot there, going to go a little wide, but Curl is going to try to maintain it in the zone, but it'll go out the midfield as Wake Forest is going to try to attack on an open net, and they will get the goal as Etheris will have an open net as Old Dominion had all their players on the offensive side for that attack, and there was nobody there to defend the net.
Just a miscom on defense right there. Justin came up for the hit in the middle. Goatgod went for the center boost, and unfortunately when they collided, it just created a stuffing effect. They just stalled each other's momentum and just left it open for Wake Forest. But good on them to be able to take advantage of that defensive mistake from ODU.
So Wake Forest gaining a little bit of momentum after that goal. It was a 2-0 advantage, and ODU had already outscored Wake Forest 7-0 dating back to game 2. So that's the first goal in a while for Wake Forest, and that's a big goal as they try to fight back in this. And there's a big shot from Justin, but it'll be saved as Etheris will make a big save on the defending end as he was credited with the goal to bring Wake Forest within 1.
Let's see, right now, if you notice, Wake Forest is kind of going for a little bit of a different play right now. They're kind of taking a more slower approach on their offensive possessions, trying to keep control of the ball, not trying to knock it away from them, and they're trying not to leave themselves open for the demos. Currently seeing a lot more 50s from Wake Forest at the moment, but it is working for them.
We hadn't seen the demos early on in the game, but we have been seeing quite a few in the last few seconds here. So a 2:05 left to play. A shot there from Wake Forest, and they will get the center to Etheris as he will get it in the net, and that will be another goal for Wake Forest as they will tie this game at 2 apiece.
Yeah, Dan right there on the back wall was trying to go for a nice little pinch, trying to get it around the defender, just didn't get the power on it, left it open for Wake Forest for a pass middle, and at that point it's kind of just the passing game had control of that play.
So Old Dominion took a 2-0 advantage, and they were feeling good about themselves, but Wake Forest has battled back in this game, and we have 2 minutes left to play. Next goal could potentially be the game winner, so Old Dominion has to be very cautious what they're doing. And a shot there from Curl, it's going to be saved from Etheris again. Etheris is their backbone on the Demon Deacon side here, but it's still a 2-2 tie after an amazing save there. And the demo there from Seeds on Just Dance, so ODU had a disadvantage for a second here, and Curl maintaining it aerial.
And so with the offensive pressure that the Gogod and Crow were applying right there, with Dan even being demoed, the ball was so far off the field that they were able to take advantage of that offensive pressure, be able to remain up there for a little bit, knowing that Dan would respawn back at the defensive end. That's having a lot of trust in your teammates.
So Wake Forest getting a little bit of an opportunity there, but it'll be defended there by Just Dan. That's a big save as it will keep it 2-2, and there's a miss hit from Wake Forest, but it'll be off the post, but Just Dan is there with the shot, and he will score! So with 58 seconds left to play, Just Dan secures the lead for Old Dominion, and that is a big moment for this Monarch team because they hit the post again in this series, but Just Dan is there to clean it up and secure the goal, and they take a lead here with under a minute left to play.
Yep. Right now, ODU just needs to kind of focus in, lock in, be able to hold the lead, and they're going to go for offensive attacks. They got to be smart about it because you can't just leave anything open for them. Gokad almost knocking it over with both defenders. Corner bounce, leaving it open for Dan. Ooh. Almost a great pass from Kuro. Tried to knock it middle and just weren't able to take advantage of it. Almost made it 4-2.
Just Dan with the demolition there, but Wake Forest has a little momentum.
Oh. Dan with an incredible save, able to keep the lead alive for Old Dominion. Now Gokad going to try and take some control, trying to open up the pass. Knocks it off the wall. Kuro might be up, but it goes under Kuro. Kuro may not have had the shot. Dan gets the touch, keeping that offensive pressure alive. 20 seconds left for Old Dominion. All they got to do is hold right now and just be able to take home this game 3.
15 seconds left to play. ODU has possession. They just got to make sure it does not go in their net. The shot going a little wide, won't be credited as a shot, but Gogod keeping the pressure on the right side of the map.
But Gogod leaves it over for Dan, and Dan comes through with the follow through, making it 4-2. Locking in this series for Old Dominion. 5 seconds left. At this point, you can basically say game 3 might be over, but you never know on kickoffs. That
might have been the nail in the coffin there for Old Dominion as they get the 2-0 lead. Anything can happen in 5 seconds, but highly unlikely as ODU will have the advantage here, and it'll go deep in their zone. But with 0 seconds, it is not possible for them to get the 2 goals. So ODU will secure victory here in game 3, but the ball is still off of the ground, so it's not fully a victory just yet.
Trying to just keep it up, trying to see what they can do. Keeping Wake Forest out, but it's going to go straight down, and that's going to be game 2 going to the Monarchs.
That was a great effort from this ODU team. Just Dan was a big factor in that match as he got the 2 goals, and you had Curl with his 2 goals as well. And as well as Dan, his defensive effort there in that game, pivotal as they maintained the lead late in that game, and they were able to capitalize on another goal to extend that lead to 2 and get the win here.
Yeah, overall the team play and the team chemistry in that game may have been a little shaky at times, just a few defensive mistakes, but overall they were able to clean it up, get it back on offense, and kind of get back to that cohesive action, like a nice little working wheel, and just bringing it home.
So we're going to take a short break here, but Old Dominion is up 2-1 in this matchup. It is a best-of-5 series. First team to win 3 games will be the victor. So Old Dominion is on match point here in game 4. We'll have to see what happens when we get in there, but we will be right back after the break.
Yep. And we welcome you back. A little bit of technical difficulties. The server that was hosting the series did go down, so we had to remake the lobby, but we are back here with Wake Forest versus ODU Monarchs, and we're off to a little bit of a rocky start. Wake Forest are already having the offensive pressure, trying to get some center pass, but GoGod able to get the clear, and it might be in the net, and GoGod just snipes it all the way across from the field. Wake Forest trying to go for the center pass. GoGod just able to read the play, gets the redirect, and just puts it bottom left corner away from the defender, just making it an early 1-0 lead.
In a match point game, Old Dominion takes 14 seconds to score their first goal, take the advantage, and definitely going to feel good about themselves and feeling high and confident about trying to secure victory this evening against Wake Forest with a win in this match. But you can see they're getting a little bit of an effort there over the net, but it went wide, but Curl will be there to defend at midfield and we'll try to get something going down the right side. And GoGod with an opportunity to try to get a center, but it'll be there for Etheris, my fault, and it'll be defended by Wake Forest, but Justin is there to defend it, and it'll be at midfield. And you can see the shot there from GoGod hits the post, and it'll go in off of the post, and it actually goes in. So GoGod with 2 goals already, with only 37 seconds gone by, and ODU is out to a 2-0 advantage in a game where they could win this series overall.
Yeah, Dan jumping really early on the defensive block, able to read where Euthrius was putting the ball, knocks it straight down, and GoGod able to take advantage of it bouncing back up in the air. Just snipes a nice goal off the post and just making the lead larger and larger for Old Dominion. Hope to see them keep this up.
A big first minute for this Monarchs team as they are looking to add to that advantage, but they're going to be defended there by Etheris as Justin got credited with the shot. GoGod with a bit of a flick there, and he'll get the shot off, but it'll be defended by Seeds. And Curl will still keep it in the zone. And a shot there.
What a shot. Curl able to read where the bounce was off the corner, able to 50 out from Creeds, sees where it's going to bounce off the wall, and able to just redirect it off of the narrowest gap.
What a great angle
right
that
into
was. Wow, such a hot start from this ODU team, kind of reminiscent of the second game where they jumped out ahead pretty heavily and got that 5-0 victory. But with not even 90 seconds gone by, they are already up 3-0 in this matchup.
I say, with it being still so early in the game, it still can be anybody's game.
Yes.
Wake Forest can just find the flow and momentum that they need and start getting those goals back one at a time. It doesn't matter when you score them. It just matters if you do or not.
Yeah, there's plenty of time in this match. Anything can go. Wake Forest could come back with 3 goals in the span of a minute as well.
Crow almost with the... Ooh. Crow trying to go for the backboard read, just ran out of boost, didn't have enough to catch up with it, almost sinks it in the net, and almost makes it 4-0 for the Monarchs.
Oh, 2 demolitions on the Monarchs there as GoGod and Justin get demoed. And Wake Forest capitalizing, and they will get the goal there. So the advantage with the 2 demolitions open the net for Wake Forest as they will get their first goal in this game. And didn't take long for them to secure that first goal. So 2 goals is very doable in 3 minutes and 6 seconds.
Yeah, I say Rocket League is a constant battle of boost, attrition, and just being able to be where you need to be. Once you eliminate that opponent, you're kind of opening up that gap for a nice, easy goal. And they're almost taking advantage of it right there, but Dan able to get the 50 out and keeping the lead alive for the Monarchs.
So with the save there, ODU still maintaining it at midfield. It's in their zone a little bit. Wake Forest is trying to set something up. Atherians will have a shot there off of the top of the roof, but GoGod is there with the save, and Curl is there to try to get it out of the zone. But Wake Forest is still maintaining pressure, keeping it in the zone a bit, and they'll get it up as Atheris will hit it up the right wall, and Justin is there to defend it, but there's going to be a second there.
Oh, but it looks like they're going to be locked in a Rule 1 situation, so right now it's going to be GoGod and Curl versus... looks to be Creeds and Malone. So this is interesting. I wonder how the 2v2 is going to go against with Wake Forest.
2:15 left to play
going for the demo. Leaving it open for Curl, and it's just an easy goal.
Curl's second goal of this game, and a 4-1 lead, 2:14 left to go. The Monarchs got to be feeling great on the verge of eliminating Wake Forest this evening with a 3-1 win.
I say Creech is put in a really difficult situation, a 2v1 situation on defense. I say it's common to see the first person to go for the demo eliminate that player. Creed's almost able to recover though off the ceiling, so kudos to him for almost being able to read that play and get that knock.
Play at midfield and the bounce in favor of Old Dominion. Justin gets a shot on net, but it is there with the save from Etheris as he is still keeping this ODU lead at 3. 150 left to play here. ODU needs this win to win the series overall as they have won 2 of the 3 games needed in this best-of-5 series. But ODU just maintaining pressure there. It's centered and it's open, and it'll be a goal from Curl. Throw out the hats as Curl gets the hat trick, and Old Dominion has jumped out to a 5-1 lead with 1:41 left to play here.
That's a little bit of a double commit there on offense, but if you notice, that was really high aerial play right there. They just kept knocking the ball higher and higher and higher, and Crow just realizing that he has enough boost to get above it before the defender could get there, and just drops it in for a nice goal.
A great play for Old Dominion there as they extend their lead to 4 goals. Minute 35 left to play, and Goat God with a shot there, but Etheris is there with another save.
Goat God trying to go for that mechanical play, almost got the reset, trying to knock it to the corner. Just couldn't get the reset underneath the ball. And right now, Old Dominion just with all the offensive pressure that they need to get this win.
A shot there from Justin. It'll be above the net, and it'll go to the right side of the wall. It'll be there as Goat God is going to try to play it back in. Try to get a shot there, possibly with the aerials, but it'll go a little wide as it'll be on the left side as Justin will hit it right back. And he'll get a center, but it'll also go wide. So 1 minute left to play. Old Dominion up 4 goals here. They just got to maintain the lead, and they will secure victory against this Wake Forest team this evening.
See, right there on that last play on the offensive pressure, Old Dominion was just trying to keep them boost starved. On that last carry over from Dan, just kind of left it open for them to grab the boost, and that got them that offensive pressure that they needed for Wake Forest, but Wake Forest just not able to take advantage of it. ODU just playing very solid defense and just heavy offense, so right now they cannot do anything wrong.
Maintaining possession there at midfield. Curl with the demolition. Dan with the area from up top, and Curl will get his 4th goal of the game. That is the dagger right there as Old Dominion has jumped out to a 6-1 advantage with the 4 goals from Curl.
I say, what a play right there. Curl able to get the demo on the defensive back, leaves it open for Dan. Dan pitches it off the top of the roof and just able to get the pass down to Curl and just knocks it in for a nice goal.
And demolitions on both sides as Curl and Seeds both colliding there. But play still at midfield as Malone tries to get something going for Wake Forest in the final seconds of Game 4 here.
So Wake Forest really just needs to get every goal possible, and that's one that they're going to get. See, 10 seconds to get 4 goals is going to be very hard, but it's not impossible. See right here, Year 3 is able to read the demo, gets Dan out of the way, and just leaves Melon open for a nice, easy goal.
And Etheris has been playing outstanding for this Wake Forest team. He's really been a pivotal member of this team to try to keep this lead at bay and also trying to create the offensive chances for them to try to battle back in this series.
That's it. Right now, it looks like it might be all for naught. They might get another shot off right here, but it's just going to hit the ground, and that's going to be it for this series.
Old Dominion is going to win the series 3-1. A decisive victory, to say the least. 4 goals from Curl, 2 from Goat God. I mean, what more can you ask for? And you had the 3 saves overall on the ODU side. So they maintain a little bit of defensive pressure, even though the majority of that game was in the offensive zone. But every opportunity they had to capitalize and do the aerials and centering the ball, they were able to get the goals. And Curl, MVP that round by far with his 4-goal performance.
Yeah, I'd say Kuro is a very fast and a very fundamental player, able to move the ball as fast as he wants, read where he needs to be, and he knows the positioning of the game. Goat God is an SSL. He's just already goated as it's in his name. Man can just do no wrong. And Dan is still one of the newer members of the team, but he has shown very good mechanical skill. Once he gets into that rotation with them, as you see, once they start clicking, it's just goal after goal after goal, and you just cannot stop this team.
Yep, so that will do it for this series as Old Dominion wins this match 3-1. We have 2 more matches going on tonight, which is going to be very exciting. We have a trio of games here, and we'll have our next game at 7:30 as it'll be against Oakland University Esports, and then we'll have our next game, game 3 of the evening, against Boise State, which will be at 10 o'clock. So we have a long night of Rocket League, and by the way it looks so far, you got to be excited for what this Old Dominion team is bringing tonight.
I say if ODU can keep this type of energy and this type of rotational and just overall attack aspect, I say I'm really looking forward to that Boise State game. That's going to be something that's massively intense, and I say you should not miss that one.
Yep, so we are going to take a short break here, and we will be right back, and we will just stay tuned because we will be back at 7:30 when we will take on Oakland University in game 2 of this triple header. So stay tuned, and we hope you enjoyed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our second game out of 3 on the night. It's going to be Oakland Esports versus Old Dominion. And unfortunately, we're joining right in on the kickoff where Oakland gets a nice, easy goal.
2 seconds in, and Oakland Esports already taking advantage as ODU, they just missed the ball right there as they were trying to get it out of midfield. But Oakland Esports with a fast start here in game 1 of the second match tonight.
Yeah, so fast kickoffs are going to be kind of crucial on this team. I see GoGod just a little bit over-rotated on the flip, leaving Oakland Esports easy for a goal. But now ODU kind of on the back pressure. GoGod trying to make an opportunity to rise here. Kuro went for the bump, but right there just kind of keep it in corner, and Oakland trying to keep possession.
ODU just trying to see what they could do. Left side, Kuro's going to try to hit it in, but Peep of the opposing team will get a center there, but it'll be a little bit far out. And you can see Boom trying to get an aerial on that shot. Not going to be able to direct it towards the net, but there's a shot there, and Boom will get the shot, and he will score. So with 38 seconds gone by in this game, Oakland Esports out ahead with a 2-0 advantage early in this one.
Yeah, so just a small double commit between Dan and Kuro on defense right there. Dan went on the backboard, Kuro jumping from the ground. Both of them able to make contact with the ball, but just kind of leave GoGod in a vulnerable situation, which gave them the goal.
And it was a good play there from Boom on their team because he kept the aerial in their zone, and they were able to set something up, and he was able to hit that one right in. And it was a nice pass too. But Peep there with the shot, and nobody is there to defend it as Oakland has scored for a third time with 51 seconds only gone by already.
Yeah, currently Oakland Esports just being able to pick apart the defensive pressure that ODU is trying to do. ODU trying to keep contained of the ball, but just knocking it too far out of the reach and just giving Oakland Esports a nice shot.
Still so much time on the clock that it could go anybody's way. And you can see Boom with another shot there, but GoGod with the save. So Old Dominion playing a little bit of defense here. They're still in their zone for the majority of this match so far through the first minute. But you can see GoGod and Kuro trying to get something set up as they got there in front of the net, but nobody is there to touch as Dan will try to get the aerial at midfield. And GoGod's going to hit it right back in. But Oakland just maintaining possession and being able to drive it into the offensive zone here.
Yeah, Oakland applying a really good offensive pressure. Just if you look at their spacing, they're keeping one person back just slightly, kind of keeping like the triangle form. I see that's the main rotational pattern that you want to see, especially on offense, because that just allows people to rotate in, rotate out very quickly and very efficiently. And Oakland's just kind of striving on that right now, leaving ODU on the defensive end.
And Kuro tried to get a center there, but it went wide of the net, and you can see another shot being attempted from GoGod, but nothing going for Old Dominion. I don't believe they have a shot on net just yet. They have been held pretty stiff here on the first 2 minutes of this match, as Oakland has had a pretty decisive start here. 3 goals in the first minute is something that you just cannot let happen, especially in a game 1, because you're letting Oakland set the tone basically.
Yes, right now that's their triple commit. Oakland is upfield. They need to take advantage of this. Dan trying to take the shot off. Just a little bit too high, just kept it at the crossbar. Making it mid, but Dan's going to be a little bit late up on the jump. Oakland able to get over it. Now putting Kuro in a 1v1 situation. Oakland almost getting the redirect off the corner, leaving an open pass middle. But no one back on defense for ODU right now. GoGod gets a touch, and it's almost middle for Book.
And Boom is going to get demolition there from
but right now it's a 1v1 situation. GoGod's up. He might go for the pin. Oh. Nope. Sonic Boom able to come in and just get the defensive touch that they need. And right now they're back on offense.
That was probably the best opportunity Old Dominion has gotten so far in this game, and you saw Sonic there with the defense as he's been a pivotal player so far in this game. And you see Oakland maintaining the pressure here, right side of the field in the corner, and you can see Kuro will get it right out and try to set something up left side. He'll get the center there. Will someone be there for shot? He won't be able to do anything with it as it moves to the right corner of the offensive zone, and Oakland will clear it, but Justin will put it back in play.
And just trying to throw it over the defender, trying to get a nice little shot to the backboard, trying to give an opportunity for GoGod or Kuro to score, but right now it's Oakland just able to manage the in-air and the ground game. So being able to contain both of those is a good opportunity as Kuro's going to try and get it middle, but Oakland Whale just able to make the block and keep it out from their net.
An easy save there for Oakland, as that was the second shot for Old Dominion in this game so far. And you can see GoGod with the shot there, and there's a second chance, but not going to happen as Justin will get the demolition as well. And Old Dominion is on the defense again, and a shot there from Peep of their team, but Kuro is there to defend it pretty easily. 105 left to play, 3 goals is doable, but Old Dominion has a lot to get by, and they need to start with 1 goal here if they want to have a chance.
I say Oakland really not giving any opportunities, and what a redirect from Peep. Giving a 4-0 lead. Sonic Boom to Whale, and Peep just already off the ceiling, able to read where the ball's going to go, and just knocks it bottom left corner.
And that is the 2nd goal from Peep in this match. So those 2 goals extend this lead to 4-0 as Old Dominion has just lost our offensive touch in this first game.
I say right now the passing plays from Oakland is actually kind of crazy. I say able to get the pass off touches, very quick touches as well. See Peep just gets a nice redirect to the corner, leaving ODU in a little bit of an awkward position. So they're going to have to try and figure out how to push, and Dan gets a touch, but Peep able to recover. Kuro not able to get the touch, and it looks like Whale might be able to snipe this in for another goal.
And that
will be a goal.
5-0 in favor of Oakland, as they have had the decisive advantage in this one. Starting from the get-go, they've just been in firm control of this match overall. And you can kind of hope that Old Dominion can try to be a little competitive towards the end here, try to get a little bit momentum going into that second game, because like we remember from game 1 against Wake Forest, they did lose that game 1, and they rebounded in game 2 with that 5-0 shutout, and eventually went on to win the series 3-1.
I see. It's going to be close for them on ODU. I mean, they might be giving up the first game. They could just be feeling out how the team is. This is still a relatively new team. This is the first time that they've gotten to play together this semester. Unknown on the Oakland Esports side, but right now their chemistry is actually popping off. And I think that's going to do it. And Go-God able to sneak in a goal for Old Dominion, so able to take one back on them.
A little moral victory right there. You saw the shot there from Kuro and Dan. They tried to get the shot there at the center of the net, but Go-God is there with the second chance, and they will secure a goal to at least not be a shutout in this game 1.
Yep.
At least get one and hope that things won't fall apart so quickly in game 2 like it had happened in game 1 with the 2-second goal already off the rip, and giving Oakland the advantage and giving them the momentum, and they were able to capitalize with the momentum. But you got to give the props to Peep and Sonic, because they both had big game with the pair of goals on each end, and then they had Well as well with the 3rd goal, the sniper goal. So overall, Old Dominion looking very sluggish there on the offensive side, but like you mentioned, the Oakland team is playing pretty well with the passing game and keeping it in their possession. So it's gonna be interesting to see what Old Dominion can do to try to counter this attack.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for them to kind of adjust, because I know this is a very mainstay CRL team. They're always constant playoffs. They're always applying up in the top 8 sometimes for CRL. So, I mean, that team is going to be the highest caliber that they've faced so far this season. And with them getting adjusted to more competitive play, I'm kind of interested to see how they're going to come back in this series and fight back.
What do you think they need to do to try to gain a little bit of momentum on the offensive side?
I feel like once they fall into rotations again, they'll start picking up that team chemistry a lot more. So once they start getting into the flow with one another, they'll stop making a lot of the more simpler mistakes, be in the positions that they need to be, and be able to capitalize on the situations that leave that opening for them to score or be able to get out of possession.
So we are going to be going right back in the game. It seems that both teams are in the lobby, so we're going to switch it on over as game 2 between Oakland and Old Dominion. Oakland with the decisive 5-1 victory in game 1 for those barely tuning in. Best of 5 series, first team to win 3 games will be the victor in the series. This is the second match of the night, as Old Dominion did win match number 1 3-1, and they are looking to earn back-to-back victories here, but they are facing a pretty talented Oakland Esports team.
Let's see, right now ODU being able to figure out the passing plays right there, trying to get it to Kuro, trying to get the shot downfield. Now they're kind of relieving the pressure for themselves on offense. But with it being so far out, they weren't able to really capitalize on the passing plays. Goka going in for the hit. Let's see, Oakland just being able to take control of the ball. Ooh. And more so get the touches that they need. I was going to say, Old Dominion almost put themselves in a really risky situation right there on defense.
And another save there, just down with the save as Peep with another shot. And Wake Forest gaining a little bit of momentum there in the last few seconds. And they still keep possession as Sonic will try to move it in, but it'll be defended there by Kuro. So Old Dominion gets a little bit of breathing room here.
And trying to just hatch it up. Go got off the backboard, just puts it a little bit too far back. Kuro not able to take advantage of the pass to the middle. So they are waiting on the back. Peep, unfortunately, getting his boost taken from his teammate, but it's not going to matter.
That's a good shot from Whale, but it is going to be defended by Goat God. Probably would have been higher than net, but it would have been a center there. And another chance there at the center, but nobody's there to capitalize on a shot. And it'll be out of the danger for Old Dominion as the game remains 0-0 with the minute 30 already gone by. And a shot there off the post from Sonic and a defense.
Oh, and GoGod with the read. It's going towards the net. Curl's going to follow up, and it's going to be a goal for Old Dominion Monarchs. Able to take one to Oakland Esports. You see the solid defense. GoGod able to read where People's going to place the ball. Gets a great 50 out of it. Enough power for Curl to catch up to it and put it in the goal and secure the goal.
Big save from GoGod. If that save is not made right there, they don't go down the field and get the goal right there with Curl capitalizing. And Curl still maintaining goals after scoring a lot of goals in that series, that first series. But Oakland Esports coming right back at it, and they will get the goal right back. And only a few seconds gone by after Old Dominion secured the lead, and they have got the tie here with 3:21 left to play.
Yeah, Oakland able to read the kickoff. Crow just a little bit more delay, trying to leave it for GoGod on the follow-up, putting Dan in that 2v1 situation. People look like he went for the bump, made Dan a little bit awkward on the hit, and just wasn't able to get to the reach, and it was a goal for Oakland.
See what Old Dominion can do here. GoGod trying to get something going on the right side, and it is going to be thrown to the opposite side as Curl will keep it there in the zone at midfield, but Oakland will hit it right down in the right corner, and GoGod is going to be there to defend it and try to get something going with the boost. Very little boost, but he'll get the full boost to try to get something going. He'll hit it off the wall. That's a shot. Will he get the second chance? He will, and GoGod will get the goal, and Old Dominion takes the 2-1 advantage. That's a great play from GoGod. He was able to get it off the wall. He's able to get the second chance opportunity, and he gets the goal right back as Old Dominion takes the lead for the second time in this game.
Yeah, GoGod taking a little bit more time for the possession right there. Was just waiting for the 50 or the challenge from the other side. It looked like Peep was trying to knock it over top of GoGod. GoGod able to read where it was, put a shot on net, and he was able to take advantage of it from the defender missing. But right now, we're on the defense with Dan with a nice clear. Sonic Boom going to make the turn, gets it over Kuro, and it's right to Pete. Actually, that's the Whale. GoGod now in the single opportunity, going for the aerial, gets the flip reset, almost gets it past Sonic Boom. Kuro trying to get the follow up. Dan going for the hit now off the corner, not able to make anything work. And Sonic Boom now trying to get the goal. Kuro with a boom downfield, puts Whale on the one way up the wall, but Pete's able to read the hit, and they knock it right back out. Right now, they're just kind of knocking it back and forth, and he's going to keep the possession.
2:10 left to play. Oakland Esports needs a goal to tie it to possibly force an overtime. Old Dominion is trying to get another goal to create a little bit more breathing room and try to secure their first victory in this series. And Curl trying to get something going on the left side, but it'll be defended easily. As you can see, this Oakland Esports team making their way down the field. And they will set something up. Sonic will get a shot there. It's going to be off of the right side. It won't hit the post, but it was barely a miss on his part. And with 1:40 left to play, it's still 2-1 in favor of the Monarchs.
Ooh, and Peep almost with a nasty shot out of the corner. Dan now putting it out. Mike trying to get the touch, but it's a double commit on defense. Leaving GoGod back in it. That's going to be a shot on net. Oh my gosh, but the pole is just able to keep it out. But they are just throwing shots on right now. Kuro going to have to try and get this out. Gets a nice little flick. GoGod's up. He might beat him, but Sonic Boom's going to get the 50. And right now, there is just danger zone right now. Kuro with a 50. Oh, and it's almost in. The offensive pressure is immense right now, but they got to be careful because they could just easily come back on
Two demolitions on the side for Oakland. They have an advantage right now. And they're going to try to play up the right side. 1:05 left to play. Oakland needs a goal to tie it up. Old Dominion trying to preserve that goal from happening and securing a dub here. And just Dan with the aerial work, and he's not going to be able to do anything with it as the shot will be saved by Whale. And you can see GoGod Curl get the shot on net. Oh my goodness. Sonic with a good save, keeping this game at 1. And 45 seconds left to play. Oakland is trying to get this tie.
Oakland has a demo, though. That's no one back on defense. That's a corner hit. That's another double commit on defense, but there's nobody back. GoGod got nuts off the wall, but Pete's going to have control right here, and they gotta hold it together. It's 30 seconds, but it's a shot, and no one's there.
Oh. And Whale is there for the one-timer, and he secures the goal for Oakland as they have tied things up at the 4:32 mark of this game.
GoGod just trying to go a little bit wider for those boost pads. They were running really, really low. GoGod trying to get those pads that he could, but just went a little bit too far out and just couldn't reach back for it. Crow with a nice 50, though, on kickoff. Oh, but People with a nasty hit off the ceiling. Oh, and Whale almost there for the redirect. That could have been just a really quick counterattack right there, and that could have been an easy goal for Oakland.
But ODU's there with defense. Next goal will win this game. 10 seconds left to play, and the 5 minutes before we go to an overtime. Can Old Dominion try to get something here in the final seconds? And Dan will be there to defend to hit it on the right side of the wall, so the ball is not down yet. And Old Dominion has a chance, so hit it up. over the net, but it'll go wide left side, and OD Minion still keeping it up, and it'll be hit to the opposite side. And there's a demo on Kuro, so a disadvantage for OD Minion for the time being. But it seems that the ball will hit the floor, and we are going to overtime. Next goal will win game 2 of this series.
It's going to be a massive game right now. ODU is playing their heart out right now. Trying to just get goals against Oakland is so hard. It's very difficult. These are CRL seasoned professionals. And right now they are trying to do what they can to just get this game in. Keeping good control, keeping the offensive pressure, trying to make the mistake, but that's a shot. Puts Peep in an awkward situation. Whale popping it up, but Goat's already up. But he doesn't read it off the ceiling. It doesn't hit ceiling. This is not going to... They got to really get back on the offensive pressure here. But right now, Oakland does have the...
And Kuro is able to defend it, but I want to say Goat had a great attempt of centering that ball last time for Kuro to get the shot there, but they weren't able to get the second chance on the net, and Dan is going to be able to defend it as the Oakland team was trying to commit on the attack, and the shot from Dan is saved from Peep, and saves on both sides. 50 seconds gone by in overtime, and this game still remains tied at 2.
Yeah, Dan tried to get a lot of power on that shot, just wasn't able to get the third touch that he really needed, or the third leg that you needed to really just hammer that home. Goat knocking it back middle, but Peep is already there. He 50'd it back. It's going to the backboard right now. Dan's going to be able to read that to corner. Right now, they're just ODU just trying to keep possession of the ball. Kuro going to pass it up to Dan. Dan might be able to get a shot off, but it's off the crossbar. They don't read it, but God, it's going to knock out of the corner. Kuro's there. Oh, but it's too high. But here comes Dan with the follow-up. Oh, but it's so close.
Oh, my goodness.
It's back up in the air again. Who's going to get there? Nobody's there. They jumped.
They needed the boost. Justin and Kuro got the boost. Can he get something going? Left side to the center.
No, there's nobody there.
And it goes wide of the net.
No one's there to be able to take advantage of it. Everyone is so low on boost that they can't really make the play. But it was right there. It just rolled middle, but no one was there.
And Oakland getting the advantage here. Anything can go here. The shot on the right side.
Right now it's a 3v2. Kuro able to get the demo, relieving the pressure from Old Dominion on the defensive end. Kuro trying to knock it middle. Keeps just waiting on the touch, able to knock it over Gokot, but he stays with it. Dan with the 50, but Kuro's got to stay with it, but luckily it's wide. But Kuro just got demoed. That's actually not going to be good.
And they're going to try to set it up. Whale is going to try to get a center going, but that's going to be defended by Just Dan. He'll get it up the right side. He'll get it off the roof. Can he get a shot? And the shot's there from Gokot, but it's saved by Peep. Another pivotal save for Oakland. Keeps this game tied in overtime.
Right now, Gokot's back on defense. Dan gets demoed, but that's not going to be too bad because he's going to be right back on defense. Kuro going to try and get the read. Keep Whale off of it. Good touch from there. Just not able to get the rebound, but he gets the secondary touch. It's out wide, but Dan's not able to take advantage of the shot. Just a really heavy angle for him to try and get to. Gokot are going to have to try and keep control of this.
And Justin going back for the boost. He was trying to hit there at the midfield, and Kuro is going to be there with the defense. Sonic with the shot. Kuro with the save. 2:50 already gone by in this overtime. It's been a long overtime, but these teams are playing very competitively.
That wasn't the touch that Dan wanted, but that's going to be over. Kuro's going to have to be in a save situation, able to keep control of it, but he's going to have to try and get boost as well. Whale and Sonic Boom double commit in the corner, but right now, this could be the opportunity. They need to get the offensive pressure here. The opening was there.
And Kuro will set it up.
Sonic gets a touch. Dan now with the control. Oh, but Dan's going to get the bump. Dan gets a bump, but no one's there. Dan's going to have to follow this up, but it looks like Kuro is going to go right back to Kuro. Going to try and 50 it out. Goes to corner. So right now, no team is wanting to make that mistake, so they're playing a little safe. But it's a massive pinch middle, and that could have been disastrous for Oakland. Gokot just needed to get the touch. Dan gets 50'd on the wall by Whale, but both teams are extremely low on boost. Gokot able to get the touch. Gokot has a follow-up, but it's pinched down. Not able to get the ground pinch that he needed. Kuro now 50s it right back at the wall. Sonic Boom with the shot, and it's on target.
Oh my goodness, the save by Gokot, and this game is still going with 4 minutes.
Oh, with the react almost goes in. Just almost got the placement right and almost caught Old Dominion lacking. Sonic now at the 50 at the wall.
And Dan is trying to clear it. They're trying to get up the left side. Just Dan and Kuro. And people keep it in. He'll have the aerial. Will they have the save?
Pass the reset.
Oh my gosh!
Keeps it out of the top right corner. This is anyone's game, but right now Old Dominion just on that heavy defensive track. Kuro trying to get the touch. Doesn't able to get to it. Dan gets the 50, but it's 50 underneath of him. But Oakland has the boost, but he bumped Kuro, and it's not going to work out for him.
The bump. You saw the bump on the goalkeeper there, and that gave
Kuro missing the boost. The 100 goes to Peep, and Peep gets the touch. Kuro's still able to get back to it, and just not enough, and they're able to secure the goal for Oakland, making it a 2-0 lead.
Wow, that was a wild one.
I mean, essentially, we just watched 2 full games of Rocket League almost.
Yeah.
That was 5 minutes of action. Almost just the back and forth between both teams. Just the defensive and offensive pressure that each team had when they were on the attack or defensive was just insane. Like, they never had any missed touches. There were so many close calls. There were so many just last-second saves, but just unfortunately ODU just not able to make that last-second save, and they were able to get the shot on for Oakland and making it 2-0.
Yeah, they made that first save, but they weren't able to get the second one. And earlier in the overtime, they could have ended things on multiple occasions, but Oakland's defense made some pivotal saves to keep the game tied at 2. A lot of opportunities, like you mentioned. It could have gone either way, but that was a fun game to cast, and I don't think Old Dominion's out of this one just yet. It's going to be a pivotal Game 3. Obviously, Oakland, they can win and secure victory in this series with the 3-0 sweep, but this Old Dominion team has been battling, and they were right there. They had the opportunities there, but they just didn't see. Oakland didn't make the mistake that Old Dominion had done, and you saw the bumps there in the final encounter as they were able to capitalize on that open space and be able to capture the victory there.
So right now it's going to be all down to a mental game. ODU going to have to really lock down and focus up because they're going to have to get a whole entire reverse sweep here. But right now it's all for Oakland. They have everything to play for right now. They have to play for the win, but at the same time, ODU has everything to play for, so they're going to throw everything at this game. Crow knocking it back to relieve the pressure for the offense. But Goka does get demoed in the process. That's not going to be great for a 2v1. And Vindan and his crossbar. But Goka able to redirect it off of Kuro's head. But it goes right back to Kuro. That might be able to get the shot off. But it's a 50.
Good defense by Peep there to keep Kuro from taking the shot, because that would have been an open lane to the net for an early goal for the Monarchs. But Dan trying to move it up the left side, but it hit the midfield. Goka will hit it off the roof. Kind of beat center. Kuro's going to get the aerial on net. Or it won't be on net, but it'll count as a save.
So he was trying to find where Goka was underneath him, but right now Oakland is playing it a lot more calm. They're not waiting. They're not trying to force a mistake. They're waiting for the mistake. That's what Oakland's trying to do right now. They're trying to force a mistake out of us right now, but that's a double demo.
Trades on the demos on both sides here. 1 minute already gone by. 0-0 still the score. Kuro with the demo, trying to get the shot there. Won't be able to do so as he'll be defended by Sonic. And this Oakland team maintaining a little bit of pressure, and they will get the score as Peep hits the open net with a tight angle there. And Oakland jumps out to a 1-0 lead and a winner and a win take all for them.
Just a defensive miscommunication there. Goka was in the corner with Dan. Dan was just able to recover right as the shot got off, and Goka was just in an awkward position. Unfortunately, that puts us down to a 1-0, and it's about to be 2-0 now. Oakland is able to take advantage of that.
A pair of demolitions gives them the goal right there. You saw the demolition one right there, and then the second one preventing them from having any save on that ball. And it was an open net for Oakland to score. Minute 20 gone by. We just mentioned in a minute there were 0 goals, but 20 seconds later we have 2 goals from Oakland as they have the 2-0 advantage here in Game 3.
Like I said, it doesn't matter when you score them, it's just when you score them. That's the main thing, and it could be in 20 seconds, it could be in a minute, it could be the rest of the game that Old Dominion can get their next 2 goals. But it's going to be a battle as they put a top corner, and Goka now got the penalty recovery, and it's not going to work. And right now it looks like Oakland has gotten past their mental, and right now Old Dominion is trying to hold on.
That's unfortunate on Old Dominion's part, because it seemed like they were geared for a save there, but both members were not in control of their vehicles to be able to counter that shot, and the shot just rolls right in as Oakland will take a 3-0 lead here with 3:21 left to play. But it's not all done yet. Old Dominion can get 3 goals here, but it starts with getting that first one and try to build off of that. But Old Dominion still in the defensive zone, and they'll get the shot there with Peep. A great pass from Sonic, and Peep is there with the aerial one-timer, and they will extend their advantage to 4-0 as they are looking to close things out with a 3-0 sweep here.
Yeah, Peep was able to read the pass from Sonic Boom right there and just take advantage of the one-on-one offense and defensive pressure, and just was able to slot it right past behind GoCod. So right now, Old Dominion going to have to really try and get the goal, and that's their first one on the series. So this could build up the momentum for Old Dominion Monarchs. Kuro just able to take the control of the ball. A little bit of a solo play right there. Just pops it up and over him, nice and simple, and just locks in a goal for Old Dominion.
And that was a quick goal, too. That was a quick goal to counter that 4th goal for Oakland. So that's a little bit of a morale boost for Old Dominion. We'll see if they can try to get their 2nd goal here with a lot of time to play. 3 minutes to play. Plenty of time in Rocket League.
save right now. Oakland kind of playing a little bit more safer right now, but gets a misread, and it's open for Kuro. Like I said, Kuro with the fundamentals, able to read where this ball was going. Pinches right off of GoatGod, and Peep not able to get the read. Kuro believing that he was going to get the miss, and just slots at top right corner, leaving in, it looks like that was Sonic Boom that was in the defensive, just not able to reach it.
Another great goal for the Monarchs as they have cut this game to half already. 2 goals in a span of 15 seconds brings the Monarchs within 2. But they're going to need another 2 goals if they want to make things interesting and possibly tie.
But Dan knocks it up. Kuro off the ceiling, and it's almost off the back wall, but Peep is able to read that. GoatGod right back on the attack, trying to go for a 50 underneath, but it goes the opposite direction. Right now, Monarchs are applying the offensive pressure. So a little bit of mistouch from GoatGod, but they were able to make up for it right there. Dan now coming with the follow-up. But Kuro is open for the hit, but Peep able to get the read off the backboard, keeping the goal from happening right there on the offensive end from Old Dominion.
Peep is playing phenomenal for Oakland Esports right now. He is doing a great job in trying to, and he'll, like we were mentioning, he's just going to get another one, and he will get the hat trick in this game as they will extend the lead to 5-2. So as the Monarchs start to vamp up that offensive pressure, Peep and this Oakland Esports team come back down the field and capitalize on that opportunity, and they extend their lead back to 3 goals with 2 minutes left to play.
Yeah, Dan was not trying to get that touch. It looked like he was just trying to roll it up the back wall so that way he could control it a little bit better. But when it had that bounce out right there, it just went right to Peep that was right in the middle, just waiting for the pass. And GoatGod just not able to get to it. But what a read from Sonic Boom, and that's an insane redirect. He holds the flip when he goes up right here. Peep off the back wall. Kuro trying to knock it off the wall so he can read it. Sonic just flipping underneath of it with 1 jump and just saving that second jump for the redirect off the.
It's a great angle.
That's a crazy angle.
Oakland Esports extending that lead to 4 goals. They had the 4-0 advantage before. The Monarchs brought it back to a 2-goal game, but Oakland has returned the favor with a pair of goals of their own, and you can see the demolition from Kuro as Old Dominion is going to have to try to fight back. They're in desperation right now. 1:35 to play. They are going to need 4 goals if they want to extend this game to a game 4, but in the meantime, it seems that Oakland just remains in sole control of this one, and they definitely gained a lot of momentum off of those pair of goals. And you can see Dan with the shot there, but he's not going to be able to get it in the net. And another shot from GoatGod, and he'll get one back for Old Dominion with 1:16 to play. So there's still plenty of time, but that's the first one that you needed to try to battle back here.
Yeah, pristine pass from Kuro off the sidewall, just able to read off the wall where it was bouncing in the corner. Knocks it right middle to GoatGod, and GoatGod able to slot that in the top right post. It's a very good placement on him. So far, he's knocked, I think, 2 goals in that top right, so that is his place to shoot. Just need to get 3 more in there to make it a tie.
You can see Oakland with the advantage here on...
That was a triple commit from Oakland right there. Dan going to be open for the pass. Bounce off the corner. Kuro might be going for the hit. Oh, but it's so close. Just not able to get the power or get underneath of it to knock it under the defensive defensive player. Got myself in a tongue twister there.
But nonetheless, GoatGod gonna have another opportunity with the aerial. Can he get the shot? He will get it, but he will get saved as Whale is there to defend it. And the game remains at 3 goals, and it's still in front of the net. Anybody's ball, but the Oakland team will get it out of the zone, and people get a demolition there, and you'll get the pass in front, but Kuro's there to defend it, and GoatGod is going to run it up right side of the field, try to get something going. He'll get the demolition.
What a nasty demo from GoatGod!
My goodness, what a goal from GoatGod. He sets up everything, runs up the field, gets a demo, and secures the goal, and it is a 2-goal advantage for Oakland with 28 to play.
GoatGod able to get the hat trick in this game right now, just trying to keep it alive. ODU needs to get 2 goals in these next 28 seconds. I expect Oakland to be a little bit more on the safer side, play a little bit more defensive heavy. You can see Peep kind of holding the back end, but Oakland able to get the demo off the start, leaving it open for a good passing play for Oakland. But right now, Old Dominion Monarchs really need to attack now if they're going to try and get the 2nd goal.
In dire need of 2 goals, 13 seconds left to play. They're going to need this one quick if they want to have an opportunity to try to tie it. But 9 seconds in the left corner.
Dan missed the touch on the passing play, and right now Oakland's going to be able to score off of that. Dan tried to get the pre-flip out, tried to boost for it and get the last second touch and slot it to the bottom left post, but just not able to get to it. And Oakland able to take advantage of that mistake on the, with nobody just backing to just take the free net.
In a series that Oakland has really rarely made any mistakes, they've just been able to capitalize off of the Monarchs' mistakes, and that is what's been different throughout the series, as they are going to win this series 3-0 with a clean sweep. But we're going to wait for this ball to drop for it to be official. Old Dominion keeping it alive, and they'll move it into the zone. and that will be all she wrote as Oakland fight off a comeback here from Old Dominion. I mean, Old Dominion made this competitive towards the end, even though they fell down to a 4-0 disadvantage. They brought 4 goals back, tried to get something going late, but Oakland just too much, getting out ahead 4-0 and being able to preserve the lead that they had.
Yeah. I say Oakland Esports able to take advantage of those small mistakes that the Monarchs were making. I say even when Monarchs were on the offensive possession, there was a few shots that may have been missed, but when we made the shots, we made them count for sure. Brought those 4 goals back, as you said, but just unfortunately let the other 3 from Oakland go in, making it a 4-7 game on that final game 3. But we saw some progression from the Monarchs there. They say first game did not go really well. Second game they stepped it up, and then third game they really put it into their own, as you can tell. But both teams were playing just all out those past 2 games, and just Oakland able to take it. Just that little bit more experience, a little bit more higher end gameplay. Just was able to take advantage of the games today.
And I just have to mention that game 2 was probably demoralizing for the team, knowing how much effort they put into trying to win that game. Like you said, we basically watched 2 games of Rocket League in that game because of how long the overtime period was. It was about to hit the 5-minute mark, but Oakland was able to capitalize off of the Old Dominion mistake. And I mean, it kind of showed at the beginning of that game 3. I mean, they had the upper hand after getting that goal in game 2 to secure victory. It had played a part mentally for the Old Dominion team, knowing that they're that close to stealing one away from Oakland. But nonetheless, Oakland was able to have the more experience and being able to capitalize on anything that Old Dominion was able to not do, and being able to secure a clean sweep here tonight.
Yeah, so when it goes into overtime like that, it becomes a major mental game. I say they fought it out as hard as they could, and they just were making all these close saves and really just keeping that game alive. So when it came down to the last second goal, just that mental game of just knowing that happened puts you into a do-or-die situation. So you don't think 100% clearly, but you know what you're doing. You know the mistakes that you make, and I think that just makes you more frustrated in the end. So then you just kind of play the next few games more frustrated, and that just kind of leads to the downfall, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it right there with the 3 saves. Oakland made 3 pivotal saves in that overtime period to keep the lead, or keep the game tied at 3. And meanwhile, Oakland had the 2 shots, and the second shot was the result in the goal, but the first one they did make the save. But nonetheless, when you put more shots on net and have more opportunities to get the ball behind the net and not being able to do so, meanwhile, Oakland comes back and doesn't have as many opportunities, but they capitalize when it is much needed. That's a little bit demoralizing for the team, but they will rebound from it. We have another game here tonight. We're very excited for this next one because it is against a very talented Boise State team. What can you tell us about this upcoming game?
I say Boise State, I know, is like one of the top 8 CRL teams as well. I know that there are always constant contenders in the top 4 as well. I know that a lot of them are ranked warriors and some very good 6-man players. I think all of them are SSL as well, so they're not going to be any slouches, just like Oakland was no slouch either. So Boise might be a little bit of a step ahead than Oakland, so the Monarchs are in for another tough series. But if they take what they learned against Oakland, they might be able to stand a chance to take a few games off Boise.
Yeah, so we will be back at 10 p.m. Stay tuned. We will be back after this short break. We're going to stay tuned for the match later on tonight as Boise State will take on Old Dominion. And then we'll see what unfolds there, because it's going to be an exciting game 3. It's going to be a competitive game on both sides, and we're very excited to cast it. We hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far, and we will see you guys at 10 p.m. when game 3 resumes here.
Welcome back a little bit earlier than expected. The 10 p.m. match has actually been moved up to basically right now. So it is going to be the ODU Monarchs taking on the Boise State Esports. And this is going to shape up to be a really difficult match for the Monarchs right now.
Yeah, and they just got off of a pretty difficult match against Oakland. For those of you that have been tuned in, Oakland with a clean sweep on Old Dominion, and pretty decisive series between the two. I mean, Oakland was with the big advantage in that game 3. It was a tight game in game 2, and then Oakland had a good game 1 as well.
Yep.
But
I say instead of driving on the pass, we're going to go right into this game right now, and ODU already on the backboard right now. ODU is also orange, so don't be displayed by the display labels. They're actually backwards right now. Just Dan going to have to control the ball down the right side wall, trying to form a play for the Go-God or Kuro that's middle, but right now Boise State taking control of the play, and it's going to go right over top. Kuro almost gets a shot. Now they got to get the follow-up. Go-God a little bit too wide. Dan trying to vote the follow-up, and it's off post again. The offensive pressure is right now for Old Dominion Monarchs, and it goes right back over top, and Go-God almost goes up for it and gets a shot in top right corner, but Dan's already right there to put it back in the middle.
Great offense right here in the first minute for Old Dominion, and Just Dan will get the demolition as well. But the Broncos are coming back, and they have a center right there, but nobody is there to hit it home. And Old Dominion will make their way down the field again, right side, as they were bouncing in the middle, and Go-God almost getting the aerial right there, but it'll still stay in the Broncos territory here.
Oh, but what a follow-up touch from the player from Boise State. I couldn't see what their name was, but Preston and Gill right now on the rotate back. Gill with the 50 back onto the Monarch side. Kuro trying to get a touch out, just trying to relieve that pressure on defense, but right now Kuro, last one back, and gets them mode. That could be a vulnerable position for the Monarchs. But right now they are able to relieve that defensive pressure for now.
And Kuro will hit it right back in the zone, down in the left corner. And Kuro's going to try to do something with it. Try to get a center for his team. Go-God is sitting there at midfield. Kuro, and you can see a miscommunication right there on the hit. And they'll move it into the right corner and try to get a center going, but Boise State has control of it. They're moving up left side of the field and trying to get something set up. And it'll get sit right there in front of the net, but Go-God is there to defend it. And the shot there from Kuro, and it'll hit off as a demolition on Justin.
Oh, but Dan puts it underneath. Oh, that's Go-God. Go-God puts it underneath the 2 defenders that were holding that bottom right corner and was able to slot it in for the goal for the Monarchs. Kuro almost getting the great aerial shot right there. Just put it top right corner, but able to get to it. But the other 2 defenders just could not block Go-God.
And that was a key bounce right there. That bounce shot is what gave him the opening right there, because he was going for the aerial save, but the bounce caught him off guard, and that's where they get the first goal. And that's a big goal, because this is a very talented and competitive Boise State team, and getting out ahead is definitely so much better than coming back from behind.
Agreed. I say you always want to be out front because you can always hold, but it looks like Kuro's going to get the read off the backboard, and it's going to be another goal for the Monarchs. Kuro able to read the read off the backboard right there. Grill passed it right back up to him. Kuro, knowing it didn't hit the ceiling, gets it right off the top of the backboard, catches Wheezy out with the fast shot, puts a nose down, and just goes for a slow shot, and it goes in.
And Kuro almost had that first goal, but he capitalizes on the second one. And Old Dominion with a 2-0 lead. And I know we have a little bit of an error.
Oh, but a double demo and kickoff from Boise State, almost making it just an easy shot, open net almost. But Monarchs able to come back and recuperate and just keep it from going in the goal. But that was an insane double demo from Boise. Right now that the defensive pressure is kind of on them right now. The offense from Boise is kind of dangerous right now, and it's going to leave it open for Woozy to be able to get a nice shot in. The demo game right there was very strong.
Demos all around through that whole sequence, and you can see that Boise State team taking advantage of the demos right there at the end and being able to get one back. So Old Dominion with a 2-1 advantage here. Let's see if they can try to preserve this lead. And the demo right off the rip from Kuro, and the shot on net.
Oh, what a shot from Dan from the back corner. Takes the momentum out of the corner. Watch him grab the back left boost. Sees where it goes. Dan full boost, just absolutely blindsides the ball and just knocks it right to the middle of the net. Hard position for the Grill to get to.
Yeah, Gil almost had the opportunity to get that save and possibly get an epic save for that sequence, but that was too much for him as Just Dan gets the shot off, and Old Dominion extends their lead 3-1 here with 2:20 left to play.
Preston trying to take control of the ball. Dan with the follow-up, and it's another goal for the Monarchs. Right now they are picking apart Boise State. I say Dan able to read the hit from Go-God. Kuro reading the hit off the backboard once again, just leaving it for a 3-man passing play right there, and Dan with a nice follow-up to just secure that 4th goal for Old Dominion Monarchs.
This is a huge first game momentum shift just because of the fact that Boise State was possibly heavily favored in this match, but Old Dominion leading the way as They have a 4-1 advantage, and a shot there from Woozy, and he will get his second goal of the evening as Boise State will be down only 2 goals now. And it looks like we have a bit of a technical switch. There we go. Apologies for the difficulties. If we could get that off the screen, please. There we go. So 2 minutes left to play here, and a shot there from Woozy again, and that'll be his 3rd goal. So a hat trick from Woozy has brought this Boise State team right back in it. It is now 4-3 with 2:01 left to play, and it is anybody's game at this moment.
Yeah, right now Boise State able to pick apart that defense right there, apply the pressure that was needed, and Woozy able to take advantage of the slot to open for him on that gaps, and just now makes it a 1-point deficit to the Monarchs, which is really good for Boise because right now they have the rest of the game to try and get that back, but Monarchs can always increase that lead.
Boise definitely has the momentum on their side, but the Monarchs do have possession in the zone, and you can see Curl trying to get something going off of the left wall, and Just Dan will also hit something center, and Curl is there, but he'll hit it wide, and he'll fall in the right corner, but Go God is there to try to hit it back to center, and it'll go right to Woozy, as Woozy would take a far shot up.
Woozy with a massive clear, went right to the back wall. Curl able to read where that was, but it's going right back, and it's another passing play, almost put it behind Dan, but just goes off the post. Go God missing the boost, but only leaves it with 34, so he's kind of in a deficit right now, but luckily gets the 100 in the middle, and Curl with a ball. Preston able to read the block. Go God knocks it underneath, goes for the 50, but Woozy able to take advantage of that. Dan now in a vulnerable position, and it's going to be a shot to the corner, and it's going to be slotted bottom left, and Gil takes advantage of that, making a 4-4 game with 1 minute and 10 left.
This Boise State team has battled back from a 4-1 deficit, and they have tied this thing with 1 minute to go. We're possibly in the margin where next goal will decide this game, and this would be a big loss for Old Dominion if they are to lose this first game. But we're not going to think like that, as this game still remains tied. And the shot's there from Just Dan.
Goes on the corner. Curl gets right back around, goes for the post, but he needs the near side of Dan going for the shot again, but it gets blocked by Woozy, and they keep it out of their net. And right now they're on the offensive attack. Preston now going to clear it to the backboard, but Curl's already up for the block.
Big plays out of the Boise State defense. They keep the ball out of the net, and Old Dominion will still stay with 4.
What a demo from Gil, able to read the passing play. Just demos Go God, takes him completely out of it. But now Curl on the offensive pressure, just not able to get the touch on the free flip out. Go God going for the shot, but Dan overcommits. That leaves a goal open, and Woozy's there for the goal, leaving the defensive wide open. Dan full commit on that shot, just was too late to it, and Gil gets the touch. And Woozy just far enough downfield to take advantage of that clear and gets the goal for Boise State.
Woozy with 4 goals in this match to bring this Broncos team all the way back, and they have the advantage here with 27 left to play. Old Dominion needs to score here to force an overtime in this game 1. And you can see the aerial work saved from Curl there from Preston.
Go God might be up for the touch, but Preston now already off the backboard, goes for the double touch again, but Gil getting back to it. This is do or die time right now for the Monarchs. Going on with a touch, gonna try and knock that middle. Not gonna be enough as they knock it right back to their back wall. It might just go down to the ground, and it is. That's gonna be a win for Boise State. They brought that back from a 4-1 deficit.
Tough loss. That is a tough loss for this Old Dominion team. They had the 4-1 advantage, but they were not able to maintain that lead, as Woozy with the 4 goals. 4 goals to bring his Broncos team all the way back, but you had Just Dan leading the way with his 2 goals, along with the rest of the members tallying a goal each. But that was a great start for Old Dominion. That was definitely more of a jump start than we were expecting in that game 1. But nonetheless, a very competitive game all around. It's just unfortunate Old Dominion wasn't able to keep that lead and be able to to steal game 1 against a very talented team in this Boise State Esports team.
I say Old Dominion, when they were in that movement, just were able to get the rotations down and take advantage of the Boise State mistakes, and they were able to get up at 4 goals pretty early in this game. But then Boise State, after kind of dialing it back, taking a minute to readjust to the game, they were able to figure out the weak points on the Old Dominion defense and were able to capitalize on those small mistakes. Small overcommits, and just that last overcommit from Dan, just when he wasn't able to get to the ball and make that contact, it kind of left it in just an open net situation, and Woozy was just far enough down to take advantage of that, which basically handed them the win.
Yeah, and the positioning there was pivotal, as they gave up 2 goals off of overcommitting, and those 2 goals were the difference as they did get the advantage and be able to win that game. But nonetheless, we're on the game 2 here, and Old Dominion, or Boise State with the early shot, and they will get the first goal with 9 seconds already gone by. So a very early momentum goal for this Boise State team as they try to continue from that Game 1 victory.
I see Dan looked like he was trying to get a bump on Gil, and Gil with a cutback just able to choke up a little bit to where he avoids Dan and just gets a shot off with enough power to where Crow just, even when he double jumps him pretty much at the top of the net, was just able to squeeze underneath the crossbar. Now Uzi kind of going for more of a mechanical play. He got the flip reset, but Crow able to read off the backboard. Gil now with the shot, putting Dan on the backboard now, kind of putting them more on the defensive back end. Looks like a shot from Preston right now, going for a little bit of mechanical 50. 50's it in the air. Woozy now gets a flip reset off, and it almost ducks it down underneath the crossbar. But the Monarchs able to keep it out, but it's right back on the back wall, so they have to get it out.
Boise State maintaining this pressure right now.
I see Boise State keeping immense pressure on this offensive push, keeping the Monarchs on the back end, on the defensive end, and what a 50 goes off the crossbar. That was almost crossbar down, but Dan with the clear, and it might be on the inside of the net. No, it goes right off the sidebar, off the post. But Go-God's up, almost trying to knock it down, but just too high up on the ball. I see right now the Monarchs are now trying to get their offensive pressure, and Dan with the shot just wide of the top left corner, almost slotting it to where he needs it. Go-God now up for the redirect off the back wall. Gets a mechanical over 5, and what a goal from Go-God! What an insane mechanical play. Watch this. Crow knocks it middle to Go-God. Go-God able to get up, gets the reset early.
Perfect
knocks
timing.
It right over top of Preston, underneath the crossbar, and just over top of Gil. You cannot get better than that.
Cannot make that up. What a great timing. What great timing that was to be able to hit it right over the defender and being able to maintain.
Oh, what a kickoff goal.
My goodness. Go-God with his second goal and pair of goals in a few seconds have brought the Monarchs out to the lead.
But you gotta admit, Curl with that perfect middle 50 just stalls it mid for him on the follow-up, leaving the other person out of position, and just Go-God able with the follow-through just knocks it in for another goal, putting the Monarchs up already in this early game phase. Now we're back to the demo
on Just Dan already.
Yes, the demos looking like they're reappearing pretty early. Boise State going back to the demos, trying to eliminate, give a little bit more of an offensive pressure in for them. Trying to relieve the defense, but Go-God able to kind of recuperate. Woozy up. Might be a shot because Woozy, and Preston almost reading the hit off of Kuro. That could have been a nasty 50, almost like a dunk. On the backfield, but no one looks at Woozy up on the ceiling. How did he get up there? Look at Woozy, he's out of the play. And he goes all the way up.
My goodness, what a shot.
What an insane shot from Woozy from Boise to read where that was going and not even hitting ceiling.
That is just insane. Like you said, I did not even see him coming from top. But nonetheless, a pivotal goal to bring things even at 2. 3:20 to play, and Boise State with more pressure off of the post, and Preston got the shot.
Go-God's in a free reign. Go-God with the redirect, and it's now back up in the Monarchs' position. This is a back and forth battle on the offensive pressure. I mean, once one person leaves that defensive end, it's almost over, and that's been every game so far has been for back and forth, and this is just an insane series. We're not even halfway through it.
Give Go-God the hats. He's got the hat trick in this game. He is making sure that his ODU team is competitive to the end as they have the advantage here. 3-2. Can they keep this lead? That is something that they could not do in Game 1, but they have the 3-2 advantage with 3 minutes to play. A lot of time to go, but you have to love what you're seeing out of this ODU team so far.
Dan up, but it looks like it's going to go over his head, leaving Crow in a 1v1 situation. It goes right down. Go-God able with the follow-up, clears it out of net. That was a very precarious situation because Crow had to read that off the backboard, and that was going to be pretty much a pinch out right to Preston, who was right in the middle, and that's a massive hit from Woozy, and it's just off target. That's how fast they can make that offensive pressure happen.
2:30 left to play here, and you can see Preston maintaining the pressure. There's a good center for Boise, and Gil is going to slow it down for them to get a shot off, but it won't be the case. Go-God with a chance, but it'll go wide as the shot is saved by Gil, but it is still going to bounce right back in front of the net. Curl tries to get in there with the aerial. He's not going to be able to touch. Just Dan will maintain the possession there at midfield with the bump.
A demo. What a demo from Curl, realizing that he was the third man back, able to get the relief of the pressure from the offensive end from Boise, making it easier for the Monarchs to counteract. But Woozy now with a solo play with the flick, and it's going to be just wide for where Curl can't reach, and Boise State is right back in this.
What a play by Woozy as he dribbles his way up and gets it past Curl, and he ties this game up for Boise State once again. That is the second goal of this match. He is playing a phenomenal series at the moment, but we are all tied up at 3 here in Game 2 of this best of 5.
Got up. He gets the reset, tries a free flip out to it, but just not able to get the read off the corner. Crow, trying to get the read off the ceiling as well. But now GoGod just in a single situation, but able to get the touch. Luckily gets it off to the corner, but now they have boost to deal with right now. GoGod only going to have 33 back. Dan up with the pre-flip from Gil. Almost able to get the 50 underneath of GoGod. And Woozy now going to get a redirect middle. Doesn't get the touch, but Preston's there. Now GoGod's going to have to get the clear off the backboard. Relieving the pressure. Doesn't get the second touch, but Kuro now in a precarious situation. Oh, no! The precarious situation I was trying to talk about where he was trying to read where the hit was going to come from. Puts him in a 1v2 situation because Woozy comes in with a hit, just leaving it open for the cleanup.
He almost had that one, too. That was such a close shot, but the bump right there at the end does give him the slight advantage, and Boise State is able to capitalize, and they have their first lead of this game. So Boise State ahead, 4-3, 120 left to play. Old Dominion in dire need of a goal here. You can see they're going to be moving up towards the right side. It'll hit to the opposite side. It'll be in the right corner. GoGod will hit it off the wall. Get the center there for Curl. He gets a shot off, but it's saved by Woozy on the right side of the bar. And Preston will hit it right back up the left side of the wall as it'll be an ODU zone. Woozy with the demolition. Curl and Just Dan there with the save. Just Dan with an epic save as he will not let another goal go by, as it will remain a one-goal game. 55 seconds left to go, and a bit of miscommunication being stuck on each other. And it is still there in the ODU zone.
Yeah, Dan not having boost is going to be pretty critical right now because he's the only one back in the net. Kuro not able to get to it. Dan came out of the net for the boost, and Gil's going to punish him for it. Puts it in the top right corner. I'd say Dan pretty much having to run on pads at that point. Thought he had enough time to go grab that big boost in the back right. Almost trying to get that 100, but even with the 100, he's just not going to get there in time.
And you can see the bar down goal for Boise State as they extend this lead to 2. 42 seconds left to play. Old Dominion needs 2 goals if they want to force an overtime. But nonetheless, Boise State on the verge of a 2-0 series lead this evening against Old Dominion. But Just Dan trying to get something going on top of the crossbar, but Preston keeping in the zone, and Woozy's going to hit it right back out as it'll be in the ODU zone, but ODU is going to try to get back with it. GoGod hitting off the roof, and
oh, there with the follow-up, what a shot from Dan! Look at the readjustment that he has up in the air. The 50 from GoGod passing it directly up to him. He's able to get it past Gil, and Dan jumps up, rotates the car just enough to where he gets the right front touch on it, puts it right past the right side of the defender, and secures the goal for the Monarchs with 17 seconds left. This is doable, but the Monarchs really need to lock in right now.
17 seconds is a lot of time. Let's see what Old Dominion can do here. They need a goal to force overtime, and Woozy is going to hit it into the ODU zone. He's going to get an aerial shot. It'll be in front of the net, and it'll go wide as it'll be in the left corner of the ODU zone, and ODU's going to have to hit it up, and he'll miss it.
Dan misses the touch, but leaves it open for GoGod. That might be going to Kuro. Kuro's going to try and get to the ball, but it's not going to get there in time, and it looks like the bump. Oh, and it's almost on the backboard, but it's not going to have enough lift on it. And once again, Game 2, 5-4.
Game 2 has been pivotal for Old Dominion in this game, and GoGod had the hat trick. He had the hat trick for this game to bring Old Dominion within range of possibly taking this game. I mean, they've been pretty competitive in these first 2 games, but Boise State has been able to get the best of them in the late game, and unfortunate for Old Dominion. It seems like they could have at least won one of these first 2 games, but nonetheless, everything's gone Boise's way as they are now on match point.
Yeah, I'll say both games coming down to a 5-4 situation. Boise State with 5, Old Dominion Monarchs with 4. That's got to be in their heads, just laying in the back, knowing that they've lost by 1 on both of these series. But at the same time, Monarchs have had the opportunities, and they have scored when those opportunities were arising. But the opportunities that the Boise State Esports Club is making is they're forcing the opportunities. They're demoing, bumping, being able to make the opportunities, making the openings on defense. Whereas we're kind of waiting for the openings. That's the main difference that we're seeing out of these 2 teams.
And you saw, like, towards the end there, the boost was in the favor of Boise State heavily, and they were able to capitalize on that by adding insurance to their victory, or to their lead in their victory. But nonetheless, Old Dominion has a lot on. They have a lot on their plate if they want to try to battle back here. They're going to have to get a 3-0 sweep if they want to beat Boise State. But it all starts with winning this first game.
Yep, it all comes down to Game 3. Just like in the last series, it's going to be all out from the Monarchs, and it's all down to Boise State if they want to try and end the series early. So I'm going to see everyone going for everything that they can and trying to make any play possible on the ball to just secure the goal.
You can see Justin hitting it above crossbar, and he'll get it out of the zone a little bit before it's hit back in by Woozy. It'll be in the left corner as Gil will play it for Boise, but Curl is there to try to get it out, and Preston will hit it right back in. So it's just back and forth right now in the ODU zone, but Gil gets demolition after getting the touch. So Boise with a little bit of pressure, but nothing really. It's just getting a feel out for these two teams early on in this game. And it seems that Old Dominion will finally get it out of their zone and probably get a push here. And they'll hit the right side.
Oh,
shot!
Bump! Oh. It goes off the post, but what's going on with the follow-up? Secures the first goal for the Monarchs. Watch the play. Kuro, realizing that he gets the pass off, not able to get the pass on. My fault. But Goka, realizing that it's going to go off the post, gets the secured goal for the Old Dominion Monarchs, and Dan being able to force that opportunity going for the bump.
A big second chance opportunity for Old Dominion as they have got the first goal, and Curl will get demolition in that process. So early demolition off the kickoff here. Let's see what Old Dominion could do to try to capitalize on this momentum they've gained and try to make this a 2-0 lead as Boise State will be deep in their territory as Gil will move up the right wall, but Curl will keep it in the zone as it'll be a center, but it'll go a little wide as it'll go in the right corner of this Boise State team. And you see Goat God bringing the center too, and a shot from Just Dan, but it'll be saved by Gil. So ODU vamping up the pressure here offensively, but Woozy is there with the save, or won't be counted as a save, but getting it out of the zone. But you gotta like what you see out of Old Dominion offensively right now as they are vamping up as pressure on the Boise State Boise State defense.
Yeah, but right now Boise State able to get the hook reset from Woozy, puts him in a really precarious situation. Crow with the 50 out on the aerial bump. Goka now securing that middle boost, able to keep them on their side for now, retreating them for boost. Goka now gonna have to get into more of a defensive position. Dan goes for the bump. Goka gets the clear out, almost trying to get the pass off the Kuro, just not able to connect.
So ball still in Boise State zone. They're trying to get it out. Woozy will have a far shot. Might be on goal. It will be right above the crossbar. It will get the rebound, and he will score. A big play for Woozy there as he has brought this game within with a tie. So it'll be 1-1 as Woozy does it all himself, and he will secure the goal for this Bronco team as it is now tied with 3:11 left to play here in Game 3.
Yeah, Dan trying to read the bounce off the crossbar. Thought it was going to go out a little bit higher, but it goes a little bit lower than he expects. Just was a little bit too far out for it and not able to connect with the ball, which leads into that goal. But Monarchs have been battling this whole entire series, so I doubt that they're going to let something like that just stop them. They're probably going to get another goal back here hopefully soon and make this Game 3 theirs. So they just got to figure out how to get to the goal and hold that lead, because it seems like they're so focused on the offensive pressure and just trying to score, but they're not looking at the bigger game where they could just take that goal and just hold it
just
for
hold
the
it
game.
down, lock it down, basically.
Exactly. Lock down on defense, be able to hold that a little bit better to where that they can just take the game, take the series, because it's really going to come down to the defensive end and just being able to hold that, because if you have no defense, it's just going in your net every time.
And Boise State seems to have gotten a little bit more momentum on their side. And Curl with the shot. Can he get the shot off? He won't, as Gil will be able to defend it. A close opportunity there for Curl, but he was not able to get it off as it'll be still a 1-1 tie here. 2:15 left to play. And you can see Preston moving it up midfield with his aerial work. And you can see Woozy's going to assist in the corner and try to get a center off for this Boise State team. But that won't be the case, as Goat God had a miss hit right there. But thankfully, Curl is there with the aerial. And there's an opening.
What a play!
And it'll be in!
No, watch this pass play. They knock it back up in the corner. He leaves it for Kuro. Kuro realizing that he could knock it down to Dan. Dan knocks it off the two defenders on the back right, knocks it off the side of the wall, and Goat is mid for the pass.
A wide open net.
What a three-man pass play. Being able to see that whole play develop was just crazy to me. What a play.
Yeah. 2-1 advantage here for Old Dominion. That is a big goal that they're going to need. Now can they hold this lead and lock down defensively? 1:50 left to play here. What can Old Dominion do to try to get one more and get some insurance? Curl with the demolition there after he got a shot, but it will be saved by Woozy, and Woozy will have a chance up the left wall. Try to get something going in the corner for his team. And he's going to work the aerial, and there's a shot on net, and it'll go wide to the left. Big save from Goat.
Goka now trying to 50 it up the field. Dan going to have to clear this ball because right now everyone on the Monarchs is extremely low on boost. Right now Boise State has boost in their favor. Everyone able to get ready and get set for this offensive push from Boise State. But he's knocking it right over Woozy, almost with that mechanical troll, just carrying it across two defenders right there on the Monarchs. But Goka able to make that last little contact. Kuro able to get the 50, but Woozy's going to be back to get this clear. Looking for the pass from Preston. Look for a pass middle right here. Woozy's there. Ooh. Oh, but what a block from Dan. Dan reading that pass play. Gil now going to be on the defensive foot. Woozy down, back for the pass again, but Woozy gets another touch, putting Dan in a 1v2 situation. Dan gets a touch out, but now Curl's going to be in a situation where he's going to go, oh, what a miss! Curl able to avoid the bumps. That was a dangerous situation, but now Boise State is trying to make the offensive pressure. Curl not able to get the touch, but leaves it for Goka for the defense.
30 seconds left to play here. This is a pivotal 30 seconds for Old Dominion as they need to force a game 4. They need to hold this 1-goal lead, and you can see Just Dan will hit it out of the zone into the left corner, but Preston will hit it right back for Woozy.
He's going for the shot. Could be going for the...
Oh, what a save!
Crow able to read the hit. Keeps it from going in their half. But what a bump. Almost making that opportunity. Left. They just got to hold for 10 more seconds, and Monarchs will take home this game 3. Gil on the offensive push, knocking it middle. Goka gets the read, though. He takes a shot on the net, but it's not there. Preston has to force a save, but Gil now going to knock it middle. But I don't know who's back. Crow's back, but Woozy's up. Crow's going to knock it to the ground, and it's going to be game 3 for the Monarchs. They were able to lock in, secure, and just hold off on that defensive end. What a game.
That was a wild one. Palms are sweaty for that one as Goat God leading the way with his pair of goals to get Old Dominion the win they needed to force a game 4. And now they're looking to force a game 5 as their momentum's on their side. But overall, great defensive effort from Old Dominion there. There was a lot of chances there for Boise State at the end, but they were able to hold on to the lead for the first time this evening as they weren't able to do so earlier.
Boise State having so many opportunities, just putting shot on, shot on, shot on, just putting that offensive melee on Old Dominion on that defensive push, but the Monarchs were able to just hold off on that defensive push and be able to just make the plays that they need and the saves that were crucial. Along with just having such low boost, they were able to recuperate, keep calm. They didn't start panicking or getting flustered on defense. They were able to keep cool, calm, and collected and just keep it out of their net. There were a few situations where Boise State just put such heaters on the net, and they were just able to get to it.
That last save by Curl was huge. That last save, the 1v1, and it was huge as Curl was able to defend it, get it out of the zone, and waste more clock in the victory for Old Dominion. But another big thing to point out is the fact that this ODU team basically locked down Woozy that game. Woozy didn't really have many opportunities in that game like he had in game 1, where he eventually gave him that lead with the 4 goals. But nonetheless, a very exciting game 4 here as we are back. Old Dominion needs to win this one to force a game 5.
Yeah, we're hoping for a game 5 situation, and Goat God just not waiting on the offensive attack. But Curl now going for the shot! Tries to put it underneath Woozy and Preston already, and just almost gets the goal right off the rip. Goat God now trying to go for the offensive. Gets the offensive block, but now it's a double commit, almost a pinch downfield, but Woozy now going to try and take control of it. Goat God going to try and get this read off the ceiling. Watch, he's going to come right middle, and he's going to read it! No way! But no one's there to recover. There was insane read from Goat God, almost making the pass play happen. If Crow was a little bit closer, then he would have been able to get a 1-point lead already. But what a read from Goat God. That could have been a really early game.
2 big chances for Old Dominion right out of the gate as they are just on the verge of getting that first goal of this match. But the game still remains tied at 0 with 4:15 still to play here. 45 seconds gone by, and we have a lot of action on both sides already.
Right now, Old Dominion Monarchs are going to have to start getting a little bit more in the boost game because Dan's using everything that he can to get to it. Crow gets to it just in time, but it looks like they're going to have a follow-up from Woozy or Preston on the defensive end. Goat God able to get another touch. Looks like he's going for the follow-up now. Gets a great 50, but Woozy's actually going to clear that out, and now waiting on Dan. Dan is able to get the block, but oh, almost a nasty pass from Preston. Preston now trying to work it back for Gil. Gil getting the read. That's a nasty 50, but here comes Woozy. And Woozy in the right spot is going to take advantage of that 50 off of, I can't tell if that was Goat God. No, that was Kuro.
It was Kuro.
Kuro trying to put it over top of Jill, but Jill starts with the free flip, and it goes right back to their corner where Woozy is just waiting and just able to take advantage of that.
He was waiting, and he capitalized on the opportunity he was given, and he has given his Bronco team a 1-0 advantage. But Old Dominion had a lot of pressure early on. I want to see what they can do now as Just Dan will hit it right to the right corner and try to get something started here to try to retaliate from that first goal of this match. But Goat God will hit it right back in as Gil will hit it right back out. So trading on both ends, and the demolition there from Preston on Curl. So man down for the time being, but you can see Goat God in them.
Yeah, Dan trying to make a play, but Goat God gets a flick. Preston now putting in the defensive pressure on the back wall. Kuro trying to snag the boost from all of them, but Woozy is completely full still. Knocks it back middle. Woozy, gets a pass, Dan, but it's a pass to Kuro from Goat God. Setting them up for a play. Dan just got to get this middle as fast as he can. Preston knocks the middle play. And Kuro almost with the read.
He had a chance, but he missed the ball. That's so unfortunate because the timing was just slightly off.
Kuro almost able to get that read off the play. Saw the defensive hit that Gil was going for, but just not able to get in a position for it. But Preston carrying that all the way across, and it's almost in the net. Kuro just able to get to it, but look at the double taps and the mechanical play. They're holding these flips or getting the resets off the ball. They're almost putting the wheels first. to get that reset, and then going for the redirect for wherever it's bouncing to just force the opportunity for them.
And that's an unfortunate bounce for Boise, but they'll be able to clear as Luzu will get it out of the zone. And no harm there, but Goat God getting it back in, and it'll be a shot on net. Big save by Curl. Curl with another huge save to keep this game at a 1-goal lead for this Bronco team. But nonetheless, this Bronco team is vamping up this pressure later in this game, and Goat God will have a shot, and it'll be saved by Preston. A big shot from Goat God to possibly tie.
Dan just able to get a touch on it. Luckily, just sitting back at the midfield, almost goes over top of his head. That could have been really bad for the Monarchs because that would have put them in a just pretty much a situation where they had to be backtracking all the way across. Lucy now coming in for the hit. But what a 50 out to the back corner, and Preston already waiting on the other side for the hit. Goes off corner. He's going to try to get the read, but Curl able to put a stop to that read. Now Gogat's going to try and get it clear, but what a 50 from Woozy. They're keeping this offensive pressure on. Oh, but that's going back to court, and that might be a little bit too high.
Oh,
Woozy,
there's a second shot, but it misses.
I had to take a breath. Woozy almost able to secure another goal for Boise State right there. It was just too high off the crossbar, but they are just making the corners pass. And almost a massive redirect from Preston right there. Saw where it was hitting on the ground. Gill now low on boost. Woozy with the follow-up, just applying the pressure with a massive demo. Now putting in a 2v3 situation. Gokat trying to get this one out. Takes underneath Preston. Gets the 100 boost actually. Might be trying to go for a center pass, but Dale comes in with the shot! And there's just too many defenders in the net. Could not take advantage, but here comes Gokat. It goes back at the wall. Crow might be masked in the center. Dan's not there.
Oh my goodness.
He's just too far out. He can't take advantage of the play.
They have to go back for boost.
Dan gets a 50 back, but it was a double commit on the offense right there. Gokat kind of committed with Dan. Now it's going to roll down the back wall. It's going to be a risky situation, but what a save by Curl to keep it out of the net. Knocks it out. Preston now going for the flip reset. Goes for the 50. Gets a pass, but right now it's a 1v1 situation, but they have no boost. They are just getting boost off right now. There's no 100. Every Monarch right now is just currently just trying to hold on for dear life or trying to grab the pass if they can. Dan gets the 100, trying to get a pass middle, but Gill's already there.
15 seconds left to play here. Old Dominion needs a goal to force a game 5, or at least force overtime in the time being. And the Boise State just maintaining the pressure, and Gill will have the aerial. It'll be a save, and it'll be a shot and goal. And Gill will end things this evening with that dagger aerial goal. Yeah, and that was impressive from him.
Gill just able to keep with the ball, stay right above it, and as you see, Gokat able to still get the save on it. It was starting to knock it out, but Gill with the follow-up, just staying that close to the ball, is able to 50 it right back down in the net, puts underneath the crossbar, and that's pretty much it for the Monarchs at this point. This is game's cut in half right now.
And that will be it, as Boise State will win this series 3-1. So overall, Monarchs finishing the night 1-2, winning that first match against Wake Forest, losing the sweep against Oakland University, and then they lose a 3-1 against Boise State. But overall, what is your assessment for this Rocket League team this evening, and what do you hope to see going forward?
Overall, I love the pressure that the Monarchs were applying in that last series. Just going against Boise State, just such a high-end team already. They were keeping consistent pressure. It's not even blowouts. It's just 1-point wins on either side. So the Monarchs were holding their own. The only thing they just need to clean up a little bit is just on sometimes they're a little bit too close, and just those double commits are costing them on those defensive ends. Because we've seen a few goals just go in the same way, where it's just like either they overcommit on defense or they just kind of get too jumbled up in one spot and then just leaves a goal open for that opportunity. Literally, if they clean that up, I think they're going to become pretty much an unstoppable team. And it's so early in the season that you can just see them consistently build and make that a reality.
And it was a great victory against Wake Forest. I mean, starting off the night with a 3-1 victory. And then, even though they lost in a sweep against Oakland, they played very well against the Oakland team, especially that Game 2 game that was going into a long overtime, and then eventually falling in Game 3, which they fought back in to make things interesting late in that one. But with Boise State, they were competitive in each game of this series. I mean, there was no dominant game on either side, but Boise State was able to capitalize in the pivotal moments and being able to capture those games, and that's what gives them the 3-1 victory. But a lot of improvement that we're going to see here for Old Dominion going through the season, and it's going to be very exciting to see what this Rocket League team can do, because they have had some good success in the past, and we're going to be excited to see how this new team is going to shape up as we move more into the regular season.
Yeah, but I say overall the Monarchs are going to impress the rest of the season. We thank you all for joining us for this triple header on the night.
We're actually gonna do a quick interview real quick.
Looks like we're actually going to interview with one of the lead players. We're actually going to have Evan coming in to have an interview with us from those games. He's going to kind of give us a rundown on how he feels about those games, what they can improve upon, and just overall how they feel they played in all the series.
Yes, give us a 2-minute break and we will be right back with our interview.
Stay tuned. Welcome back. We're going to actually get this interview underway with Evan, Kuro, Neil, one of the lead stars of the Rocket League team on the A team. Right now, you were MVP for quite a few of the games this season, right there with GoGod. You two were just battling back and forth and being able to connect on the offensive end. Dan trying to come through on the defensive end. Overall, played very solid games tonight. Wake Forest 3-1. Oakland was a 3-0, or 0-3. And then Boise, that last one, just coming down to 1-point games. Just overall, how do you feel that the whole team played tonight?
You know, we have a lot of rookies. This is the first time playing like real official matches, so it was hard to get over the really the hump of playing like real competition. So I think they played pretty well. Dan did his job. He got some saves. Goat did what he had to do. He had to score, and I was playing back more this time around. So
honestly, in that last set against Boise State, I noticed that in Game 3 that there was a small readjustment on the offensive pressure. I say first game 1 and 2, go down to 5-4, 5-4. We saw the 4-1 lead in Game 1, but we saw that you kind of dialed it back on the offensive pressure in Game 3. We kind of more focused on the defensive end.
The main thing that we had was like we'd have like they were losing kickoffs on purpose so that they get possession, and then just off of that possession we get scored on. So we were like, we're gonna focus on getting boost first. We ended up sending only one person for kickoffs, no following, and just trying to get boost that way instead of just giving automatic goals off kickoff.
I seen there were a few kickoffs where you were able to like 50 it, kind of basically center and mid, and GoGod would come through with the follow through. But overall, I say what was probably the toughest team that you played today? Or what was like the toughest match to handle?
The toughest match was probably I think it was Oakland, because it was their first time playing real competition, and it kind of shocked them. Because I was telling them, you know, everyone's at least SSL in here, and our whole division is really good. So it was tough for them to adjust, but I think with more practice, they'll be better.
I said that Game 2 came down to I think it was a 5-minute overtime, so you basically played 2 games there. I said, how were the other two's mentals?
Yeah, it was tough after that one for sure, because you know, Dan, he gets in his own head, and Goat, you know, he's usually like blind, like sticks to himself, but you know, you can see that it really affected him.
Gotcha. I say, needless to say, just watching all 3 games tonight, it was fantastic to be able to cast. It was awesome having you up here for the interview, of course.
Yeah.
Past teammates, now I get to watch you play, and it's actually phenomenal. We'd like to thank everyone here for joining the stream. Hope you tune back in, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.